One of the big decisions that the board has to make every year is setting the split between the residential and commercial tax rate. What is your philosophy about, obviously not trying to put too much burden on the residents, but also not trying to drive out businesses? How do you look to try to find that balance?
Okay, and this time we'll start with Mr. Priest.
All right, back to back. The balance we have now with the taxes is obviously good for the residents, being on the the lower end of that deal. And I think that if we can, we should maintain that balance. I think that it strikes a good chord for the residents. And I think that as we grow and as we develop different opportunities for businesses to come here in town, as we look to become more flexible as a town, inviting businesses to make Burlington their home, I think that businesses will be able to take advantage of said amenities and said resources, and they will, be okay with the partnership that we have between the businesses and the residents.
Thank you.
Same question, Mr. Morandi.
Can you go with the question again? I want
Yeah,
to make sure
absolutely.
I answer this the right way.
Yeah, so it's just basically, the town has the split rate between the residential and the commercial side, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on where the town is now, and just in general how you think the town should go about setting that rate so it's fair for both, or doesn't damage Burlington's economy as it has.
Thank you, Rick.
That's rewording a little bit.
So let me start with seeing both sides of it. I see both sides of that rate. As I said earlier, I have both residential and commercial rate. As a commercial owner in town, I understand that these commercial guys do not have kids going to school. They don't have trash pickup. They have to plow their own, some of these people have to plow their own areas, the district, Third Ave project. We don't take care of that for them. That's all individual. So that's another cost to them. When we look at the big picture of it all, people are thriving to come to Burlington because that commercial rate is very, very good for them. The residential rate is very, very good for the residents. Myself and the rest of the board, we work very hard at keeping that balance so evenly that it doesn't sway either way. When you see residents in town, everybody's happy right now. We're in a good place. We're in a very, very good place. Every now and then you may get someone like, why do we even pay taxes? Well, if we go up too much on the commercial side, we'll have a bunch of empty buildings. And then what do we do? So right now, and you can bring this on with traffic, because of all those cars that are coming to town, all these businesses, that's why Burlington is where it is. Our town is in fantastic shape right now with the tax rate that we have.
Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, Mr. Runyon.
Thank you, Alan. My philosophy on the split rate is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think most of the residents of Burlington are pleased with the business picking up 60% of the tax rate in town. Residential picks up 40%, despite having 60% of the overall value of property in town here. So we've got a very good situation here in Burlington. The businesses are okay with the split. We did flirt with that $30 range. You may remember 5 or 6 years ago, the $30 tax rate on the commercial side, and that's sort of an area where we started to get a little antsy about perhaps driving businesses out of the area. So we have a very robust commercial sector here in Burlington. It's the engine that makes this train run here, and certainly we want to be mindful of our business community when we set the tax rate. So great care is given and consideration is given each year to the commercial sector, of course, as well as the residential sector.